whistling a jolly tune. The tunnel forks, and you must decide quickly which way to go. You can hear the sound of running feet coming down the branch to your right. If you wish to run down the left branch, turn to 31. If you'd rather head down the right branch to face whoever is coming towards you, turn to 145. I'm going to stick with the right-hand path being the path of justice. Yep. You draw your sword and head down the tunnel. Two goblins with ugly faces run into view, both wearing glowing metal collars around their necks. They see you and advance, snarling with daggers drawn. Fight them one at a time in the narrow tunnel. It's time to duel! Ouch, I have a 5-point skill advantage on these guys. I mean, they got... they got an incredibly good roll there. Oh, poor goblins. Man, they make you fight a big truck-off yeti and then a goblin. And the second one's weaker than the first one. Oh. No. Nope. You search through the clothing of the goblins and find some provisions, a candle and 2 gold pieces, which you decide to take along with their daggers. The metal collars around their necks have stopped glowing, but you cannot remove them. After putting the goblins' possessions in your backpack, you set off further down the tunnel. Ooh, interesting. There's a moose. Or an elk. Or perhaps a yak. Further ahead, in the left-hand wall of the tunnel, you see a gap. You walk up to it and peer around to see a cave in which a Neanderthal is stripping the skin off a moose, making it ready for the large simmering stew pot behind him. He is working very slowly and is being yelled at by the gnome cook, who is wearing a white apron and waving a wooden spoon in the air. He does look pretty annoyed. Look at him. His eyes are boggling. If you wish to enter the crude kitchen, turn to 95. If you'd rather creep past the entrance, turn to 267. I have provisions, and I am at full health. Or near enough. I don't think I actually got hurt in that encounter. So, if I go in there, there's a chance that they'll try to put me in the stew. But there's also a chance that I might find out something. I feel pretty good about my odds in combat and what have you right now. I mean, I'm practically at full health. My skill is still great. I've got tons of provisions. I've got some good equipment. Yeah, so I'm gonna go in. Let's do it. Let's make a bookmark and then do it. The gnome runs up to you and shouts, "Get out! Dinner will not be ready for another 2 hours. You'll hear the bell. Mind you look a little worse for wear, so you can have this stale cake if you wish." The gnome points at a piece of cake lying on the table. Yeah, sure, why not? Birthday cake, even if it's not your birthday. Achievement! For something. You leave the cave and turn left, back into the tunnel, eating the cake as you go. It is stale but virtually tasteless, but gives you a little energy. You gain 1 stamina point. Cool. Whoa, look at that thing. In the distance you hear chanting, with voices. Before long the tunnel ends at the entrance to a large cavern. Kneeling down before an ice effigy in the shape of a demon, their hooded faces pressed to the end of the Snow Witch's followers. There are 2 exits from the cave, one to your left and one to your right. Man, look at that thing. Glowing eyes. It probably is just a demon that's frozen in place. It's probably not too happy about this whole thing. If you are wearing a cloak, turn to 384. If you're not wearing a cloak, turn to 260. Okay, so that's where fighting the elf probably would be a good idea to get a cloak. We are not. You breathe in deeply and walk casually through the cavern toward the tunnel to your right. You are almost at the entrance to the tunnel when the worshippers stop their chanting. They stand up and one of them calls out to you, asking you why you did not stop to sing the praises of the Frozen One. If you have a magic flute, you can tell them that you have been ordered to go and play it with the Snow Witch. Otherwise, may I ever fight them, or try to run for the tunnel. Can I fight 10 cultists? Now, I'm inclined to run for the tunnel, but I'm genuinely intrigued to see whether or not you can actually fight these bastards. followers are a group of goblins, orcs, and Neanderthals. There are too many of them for you to overcome, and you're soon captured. Yeah, that's what I figured. Oh, how the hell... Oh, okay, so I was at 370. Alright. I thought for a second there they were just ordered in number. I guess... That's... Yes, okay. Run for it. The followers are a group of goblins, orcs, and Neanderthals. As you make a run for it, the two creatures who are nearest try to stop you. One cracks his whip, trying to wrap it around your legs, while the other aims a dart at you. Sometimes lucky. Ooh, never lucky. Both the whip and the dart speed toward you, but which one of them is going to hit? One of them is going to hit, but which one? Probably the dart. The whip misses you, but the dart plunges into your arm. Pulling the dart from your arm, you flee from the followers and run into the tunnel. You lose 3 stamina points. You're still alive. The tunnel ends quite soon as at a T-junction. To your left you can hear cries for help. Let's go ahead and just chomp down there. Well, the right-hand path is the path of justice, unless there's any other clue. So I'm going to go left toward the cries for help. It's probably a trap. The tunnel ends at the edge of a pit, out of which a dwarf is trying to climb, but he keeps on slipping back. The floor of the pit is covered with large ice boulders, which have crashed down from the shaft of the pit. Crashed down from a shaft above the pit. One lands on the dwarf's shoulders, and you hear wild cheers from the top of the shaft as he tumbles to the floor. The dwarf sees you and shouts, "Curse you, stranger, if you do not aid me." Curse you, stranger, if you do not aid me. I see that you are not wearing a collar. If you wish to help the dwarf out of the pit, turn to 376. If you'd rather ignore his pleas and walk back to the junction, turn to 57. Well, of course we're going to help him. You lie down and lean over the edge of the pit and tell the dwarf to grab your arm. Much to the annoyance of the spectators above, the dwarf escapes from the pit. You run together back to the junction where the dwarf turns right. You tell the dwarf that you intend to carry straight on to find the Snow Witch, as turning right will lead you back to the Hall of Worship. The dwarf tells you that he must escape quickly and return to his village now that he is free. He thanks you for helping him and hands you a leather bag, then runs off. But before he disappears, he turns and shouts, "Beware the white rat." You open the leather bag and find a sling and 3 iron balls. You pack them away and settle along the... Man, I am loaded for bear. I had a spear, I've got a warhammer, I've got daggers, I've got a sling, I've got my sword. Whoa, hello. Look at this crazy mo. The tunnel through the glacier soon leads into the mountainside itself, and the walls change from ice to bare rock. You enter a large cavern which has 3 other exits leading from it. One to your left, one to your right, and the main one, carved as a giant skull lying directly opposite. As you enter, an ugly robed man steps out of the mouth of the skull, holding a glass prism in his outstretched hands. He commands you to turn back, as only the Snow Witch's personal servants are allowed inside the mountain. With a magic flute, you may wish to tell him that you have been asked to come and play it for the Snow Witch, or you may attack him with your sword. Yes, I shall attack the wizardy person with my sword. The ugly man sneers as you draw your sword. He rubs the prism, and suddenly 3 identical images of himself appear. They walk toward you. Each one has a dagger raised in his right hand. 2 of the images must be illusions, but which will you strike with your sword? I'm just checking the text to see if there's any clues. No, there doesn't seem to be any clues in the text. Ho hum, tiddly tea and tum. Alright, there's a couple ways to work this out. If I just reach over here and grab this bag. So, I have a D6 here. I am inclined to say that it's the one on the left. This D6 that I'm about to roll says that it's the one on the right. That was not a very helpful D6. Well, I'm going to follow my gut and strike the one on the left. The illusionist laughs out loud as your sword merely cuts through one of his images, and his dagger plunges into your shoulder. You lose 2 stamina points. The illusionist withdraws his dagger, and his 3 images prepare to strike you again. You decide to swipe your blade across all the images in an attempt to strike the real illusionist. But before we do that, I want to go and see if the dice was right. Wow, the dice... Of course the dice was right. Stupid fucking dice. The illusionist screams in pain as your sword cuts into his side. He drops to the floor as his other 2 images fade away. As you step over him, he starts to laugh and stands up, his wound completely healed. If you wish to thrust your sword at him again, turn to 261. If you wish to try and smash his prism, turn to 72. Clearly. You pretend to give up the fight and then suddenly loop at the illusionist. Is this cheating? Of course it's cheating, it's a fighting fantasy game. Catching him momentarily off guard, you manage to snatch the prism out of his hands and throw it onto the floor. It shatters into tiny pieces, and the illusionist turns and flees into the skull mouth, screaming at the top of his voice. Smoke rises from the shattered fragments of the prism, and forms itself into the shape of a bald fat man. A genie! Hovering in mid-air, he bows and thanks you for releasing him. He tells you that if you call on him, he will make you invisible just once, as a token of his gratitude. Without saying another word, the image shimmers. You have to decide which way to head. The tunnel to your left, the skull mouth, or the tunnel to the right. But sadly, that is not the fate that we chose. Alright, test our luck. Never lucky. Fails to find its mark, and the dagger cuts into your sword arm. You lose 2 stamina points and 1 skill point. In desperation, you hack frantically at the 3 images that lunge at you with daggers drawn. We're still alive. Really? We have to test our luck over and over again. I mean, my luck decreases each time. You swing your daggers at one of the illusions. You feel a glimmer of hope as a dagger appears to connect. Way is the dagger a luck. Once again, your sword fails to find its mark and the dagger cuts into your sword arm. You lose 2 stamina points and 1 skill point. In desperation, you hack frantically at the images. Wow. I mean, this is redonkulous. I mean, we were losing double luck. Yeah, my score is 0. I mean, there's literally no way to pass this test. Oh wow, it actually does have an end to this loop. Oh dear. You swing your daggers at one of the illusions. Having attacked him twice, you now know which is the real illusionist, and not just a false image. The illusionist screams in pain as your sword cuts into his side. He drops to the floor. Yeah, this is all the same. Smash his prism. What? No genie? Oh, no, sorry, yeah, there is a genie. That's right. Let's just take a look at the adventure sheet after all that. I mean, he cut me up pretty bad, and my skill is back down to the first run. Let's just chomp back up. Oh, our poor luck. Oh, our poor luck. Let's go down the tunnel to the right. It's the right-hand path, it's the path of justice. As soon as you step into the tunnel, an iron grill drops down behind you. It's a George Foreman, barring your retreat. It is impossible to lift, and there is nothing you can do but find out what lies at the end of the tunnel. You soon arrive at another iron grill, which blocks your way forward. Beyond the grill, the tunnel turns left. On the wall opposite, you see a knob, which you realise must be pressed to lift the iron grill. Unfortunately, it is beyond your reach, even if you stretch out with your sword. I have a dagger. You aim carefully between the iron bars and throw your dagger at the wooden knob. Test my luck of 0. The dagger just misses the knob, bouncing off the stone wall. If you have another dagger, turn to 16. You take careful aim again and throw the dagger at the knob. Again, not possible for me to pass. Your escape plan has failed, and you are trapped inside the mountain tunnels. You know it will not be long before the Snow Witch's guards discover you and condemn you to a life of slavery. You have failed in your mission. The end. Oh dear. How do I get to bookmarks? Can I get it? Oh, here we are. Use last bookmark. Right. We can legitimately do it this time. Our luck was 0. Slash him. Smash him. Okay, what is my luck? Adventure sheet. My luck is 5 out of 9. We know what's to the right, so let's check out the left. As soon as you step into the tunnel, an iron grille will stand behind you, barring your retreat. It is impossible to lift, and there's nothing you can do but find it will lies at the end of the tunnel. So, same as before. Okay, so left and right are exactly the same, except this time there's a key, rather than throwing the daggers. You soon arrive at an iron door, which blocks your way forward. Beyond the iron door, the tunnel turns to the right. I do not possess a key. You're trapped. Ah, dear. I get the feeling we're going to need to start again. Doody-doody-doo. Let's enter the tunnel with the skull mouth. Frost, ice, snow. Find all its enemies with these words in their name. The tunnel soon leads into another cavern, where you see a huge, white-bearded man wearing white furs, lifting a wooden chest onto a high shelf. He is a frost giant. There's only one other exit out of this layer via a tunnel in the opposite wall. If you wish to run through his lair into the opposite tunnel, into the tunnel opposite, turn to 243. If you wish to attack him, turn to 112. I feel like by not attacking everyone, I'm missing out on a lot of stuff. Because the click from the elf, etc. I'm going to continue my my motif of infiltration and just try and dash through. You wait until the frost giant has his back to you and then run through his lair. You reach the next tunnel before the slow-moving giant realizes what is happening, but you do not stop running. You soon arrive at a crossroads in the tunnel. However, you have no time to examine the left and right branches as a strange humanoid is advancing toward you from straight ahead. Whoa, hello. Look at this guy. Before you stands a crystal warrior, one of the Snow Witch's personal guardians, who has been sent to deal with you. He is made of quartz which has been animated by the Snow Witch's sorcery. Edged weapons will not harm the crystal warrior. Your sword is useless. If you possess a warhammer, you may succeed in smashing the crystal warrior to pieces. I do possess a warhammer. The crystal warrior bears down upon you with surprising speed. You have no choice but to protect yourself. Ooh, okay, he has the edge. He has one more skill point than me. And with rolls like this... Aha, here we go. Okay. Damn. Good thing critical strikes aren't in this. Damn it. Oh, this guy's wrecking me. One skill point difference and he is just taking me down. Ouch. Come on, sometimes lucky. Ah, sometimes lucky. Nope. Nope. You are dead. Your family are dead. Your dog. Oops, that's not what I meant. Not what I meant at all. I guess we go back to here, don't we? Should probably make another bookmark. Bloody bloody blue. Skullmouth. Bloody blue 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 blue. Add a bookmark. Alright. Let's try it again. Come on, Jimmy. He only has 1 skill point on us. We have... If the last time was less than 50, then this time it's going to be greater than 50. Slice and dice, bro. Now, what are these rolls? I can see that compared to the Force of Doom, this adventure is very heavily luck-based. Ouch. Ouch. Come on, we're so close. One more hit. Oh! Yeah, it'll do. We win. Hammer time. Shatter the crystal warrior into pieces. You step over the pieces of the broken quartz that were once the crystal warrior and carry on along the tunnel until it ends at a T-junction. But not before we... let's see, it's going to be... I can actually heal to a correct full number. So I'll do that. Turkish delight. If you wish to go left, blah blah blah, T-junction. Well, we're going to go right, because the right-hand path is the path of justice, but not before I add a bookmark. The tunnel ends at a wooden door, which is locked. You press your ear to it and hear the sound of feet slowly shuffling across the floor. If you wish to knock on the door, turn to 83. If you'd rather return to the junction and head straight on, turn to 150. Let's knock. Whoa. Okay then. A man comes to the door. His skin is a sickly grey-white colour. His vacant eyes and slow movements are definitely those of a mindless zombie. The zombie knows how to open doors? How to unlock them, nonetheless? Fine. Bring it on, zombie. The zombie picks up a club from behind the door and shuffles toward to fight you. I am going to fight him and destroy him. Ouch. Oh no, it's a draw. Come on. Yeah, sometimes. Flawless. The zombie was probably in charge of the storeroom that the door opens into. Jars and bottles of various shapes and sizes line the walls, and many boxes and barrels are stacked up on the floor. You search quickly through them, and find little of interest except for a jar of ground minotaur horn, some garlic, a box full of teeth, a jar of pickled lizard's tails, and 4 large dragon eggs. As you'll not be able to fit everything into your backpack, you may only take 3 of the items. I see. Well, well, she's a sorceress. Am I likely to find any vampires in this place? That is the question. Well, we did see a picture of a blue dragon. So I'm going to take that as a hint. Then I think we take... What the hell could we possibly use Minotaur Horn for? What could we possibly use Minotaur Horn for? I'm thinking through all my knowledge of fantasy tropes, and I cannot think of Minotaur Horn being a thing. So I'll take the garlic and the teeth. Leaving the room, you walk back down to the junction and head straight on down the tunnel. The tunnel ends at a wooden door, which opens when you turn the handle. You walk into a massive high-ceilinged chamber, which ends in the wall of ice. In the center of the chamber is an open marble sarcophagus, with its lid propped up against its side. A white rat suddenly jumps out of the sarcophagus and runs toward you. It stops in front of you and starts to grow and change shape. What could you possibly use Minotaur Horn for, huh? Whoa. Okay then. The creature soon towers above you and develops a rough, white reptilian skin. Its neck extends to support a giant head with smoking nostrils, and wings protrude from its back. Before you stands an ancient white dragon. From its gaping maw issues a stream of freezing cold breath aimed straight at you. Yeah, you don't find ancient dragons at my level. Roll 2 dice. So we're looking for same or less than skill, I guess. Phew. You leap out of the way of the icy stream. You feel the chill of it as it passes you by. We have no copper ring. We are not wearing a gold ring either. We must fight the mighty beast as I stand. Oh wow, okay. That's not actually so bad. Okay, so it's only got 2 skill point advantage on us. Ouch. Come on. Damn it. We stand a good chance of taking down our ancient white dragon. I don't really see how. I mean, this thing will just flatten us. Oh. Come on. Oh. Don't make me load the game. Ouch. Come on, 3 lucky strike. Nope. 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 Yeah. 200. Well, we seem to have some knowledge here, so apparently Grand Minotaur Horn. Dragon Eggs didn't help us, so I'll take the garlic and the box of teeth. We do. Remember an old legend to your benefit. What? I'm gonna have to look that up. You remember an old legend that Grand Minotaur Horn is the only substance that can stop a metamorphosis spell from working. You quickly sprinkle all of the powder on the growing creature and relax a little as it shrinks back to a white rat again. The legend was true. Intrigued by the open sarcophagus, you decide to walk over and examine it. Okay, I'm going to be extremely unprofessional here. Just give me a sec. Does Grand Minotaur Horn stop a metamorphosis? Let's have a look-see. Well, Cortana can't find anything. But let's just see what Google has to say on this matter. Google. Grand Minotaur Horn. Trophies. Crafting material. Easiest on the Minotaur. Yeah, I thought so. That there's no friggin' myth or legend that I would have been aware of regarding Minotaur Horn. You people. Whoa, okay, there is a vampire. As you approach the sarcophagus, a woman's eerie laughter echoes around the chamber. A beautiful woman wearing white fur slowly rises out of the sarcophagus, and when she smiles, you see that the Snow Witch is a vampire! Damn, though, look at that fur coat. Damn, son. Pretty tight. If you have some garlic, turn to 210. Good thing I took the garlic. The Snow Witch recoils from the garlic, giving you time to think. You know that a vampire can only be killed by driving a stake through its heart. We have no carved rune stick, sadly. Not even sure where one of those would be. You panic when you realize that you are not carrying the weapons needed to slay a vampire. The Snow Witch slowly overcomes her fear of the garlic and gradually gains control of your mind, forcing you to bare your neck in readiness for her to drink your blood. You'll be her servant forever in the world of the undead. Okay. Well then, we have an idea of what needs to be done. I'll be back in a few minutes.